Back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 20. As today we continue season number 4 here, currently in the month of May, right around the middle of May, currently sitting at a record of 26-16 in what has been a fairly competitive National League Central. Last year we were in a close race for first place, at least in the start of the year, between us, the Brewers, and the Cubs. Then the Cubs sort of hopped out of a race, and it was us and Milwaukee. And it's the same three teams at the top this year. Us, Milwaukee, and Chicago are pretty much neck and neck for first place. We are a little bit ahead of both of them. Reds and Cardinals once again bringing up the rear. Cincinnati hasn't been all that bad this year. They are currently on a 7-game win streak, but I don't trust them, or the Cardinals for that matter, to really catch up to any of these other three teams anytime soon. And then the wild card race is headlined by the three of us, the Pirates, Brewers, and Cubs at the top. And then you got a very competitive National League West. The Rockies are currently winning that division. They are currently 30-12. The Giants, Padres, and reigning National League champion Diamondbacks are all in the hunt as well. And the Dodgers, of all teams, are dead last in that division, which is pretty wild. Rockies have won 10 straight, by the way. They are absolutely firing on all cylinders, and the rest of the division is playing fairly solid baseball as well. Looking at the team, seeing who's doing well, seeing who's doing not, there's definitely a big three on this team right now. O'Neill Cruz, Josh Bell, and Benny Lane. Currently, Cruz is second in the MVP race, Benny Lane is third, and Josh Bell is hitting over 350. So all three of these guys have really played well this year. Obviously, our two rookies, Wander Franco and Pablo Cairo, were recently called up. They have both been fairly solid so far, especially Pablo Cairo. However, not everybody is living up to expectations. Dylan Carlson, only 4 home runs, hitting under 250. Francisco Mejia is on fire, but he's only hitting 212. So, you got some guys really not playing all that well. And then the bench bats, nobody has been all that impressive. Tony Kemp has the highest average of the bench bats, and he's hitting 242 at the moment. The pitching rotation as well has been a roller coaster. Jameson Taillon started the season off slow, but he's playing a lot better. Same can be said for Julio Urias. But Mitch Keller, coming off a breakout season last year, he's really not played all that well. He is 4-1, but currently with an ERA in the 5s, whip over 1.6. He has definitely not performed up to standards. Waddle's been mediocre, and then Jordan Yamamoto, after an excellent April, has not had an excellent May. Looking at the bullpen, Adonis Medina in his rookie year has actually been really good as the long reliever, and then the bullpen for the most part has been very good. Suero and Givens are good. Emmanuel Clase has been outstanding. Raisel Iglesias and Will Smith are doing good. Pedro Baez is the only weak link so far, and then Ken Giles is doing his thing. So if Baez can play the way he's played all of those years with the Dodgers, I think he will be fine. A name I want to monitor is AAA starting pitcher Santiago Osuna. Of course, he is almost Major League ready. I want to see a few more starts from him out in AAA. If he does get called up, I would probably have Adonis Medina be sent down, even though he's played really well this year, and then Waddle would move to the long reliever spot. I don't know. We have to see how Osuna continues to play, first of all. As the Pirates here in Game 3 of the 3-game set at home, featuring the 17-26 New York Lowell Mets. As we look at both lineups, 1-9, a lot of lefties for the New York Mets. They have lefties going back-to-back at the top of the order, and then 6 and 7, which I find fairly interesting. As Mitch Keller gets the start for the Pirates, the record suggests that he's building off a great season that he had last year, but the ERA and the whip tell a different story. He really needs to start pitching well, or else last year will just look like a fluke. And Keller's day does not start off too well. Brandon Nimmo goes deep with a 2-run shot early here in the top of the first, as the New York Mets will quickly take a 2-0 lead. Just like that, Nimmo's 7th home run of the season. Not what the Pirates wanted to see to start this game off. Runner on second, 1 out now for J.D. Davis. Single into center as Jeff McNeil headed home. The relay to the plate is not in time, and the New York Mets already leads this game by a score of 3-0. Can the Pirates get out of the inning? Well, now the bases are loaded as Andres Gimenez draws a walk, so the bases are juiced and 1 out, as if this inning can continue to get any uglier, as Austin Romine grounds it to short. To second, Franco gets hit hard by Gimenez, but the Pirates still turn 2. Their infield is more chemistry than a science project. Still a disastrous inning for Keller and company, as Damian Rolls gets the start for the Mets. He has also not had a great year, but he's more unproven than Keller. He's also only 22, so he has a better excuse. As O'Neill Cruz up at the plate with a runner on and nobody out. That one is down the right field line and fair for an extra base hit. So now the Pirates have 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. This is their opportunity to do some damage control. Josh Bell up at the plate, grounder to second. He is out. However, Brian Reynolds does score, and the Pirates will cut the lead down, making it 3-1. Following batter, Benny Lang up at the plate with Cruz on third. Hits that one high and fairly deep into left field. It would be caught, however, Cruz would tag up, and the Pittsburgh Pirates will now make it 3-2 in what has been a very high-scoring first inning up to this point. On to the second now. Damian Rolls up at the plate. The pitcher. Pitcher-on-pitcher crime as Keller needs to gain some confidence, and, I mean, it is just the pitcher, but it is good to see Mitch striking out some batters. Brandon Nimmo now up. He went yard in his previous at-bat, and he goes down to the low changeup as we move to the bottom of the second. Pablo Cairo up at the plate, full count pitch. He's just a window shopper. Stay with me, kids, because he's just looking. On to the third inning now. Big Meat Pete. It's Pete Alonso who strikes out. Mitch Keller starting to pitch a lot better as Andres Gimenez now up with 2 outs. That one goes off the wall and right. Gimenez headed for second, and that'll be an RBI double for Andres Gimenez, and the New York Mets will extend their lead, making it 4-2. Right when Keller was starting to pitch well, that happens, and it doesn't look like the Mets are done. Austin Romine with a single into center. Gimenez will score, and the Mets now lead this game by a score of 5-2. Keller continuing to struggle as we move on to the bottom of the third. Josh Bell up at the plate. He's going to go down to the low. 93-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Nice pitch from Rolls as we move to the fourth. 5-2 remains your score. Brandon Nimmo up. He went yard in his earlier in the game, and he's going to go yard again. Brandon Nimmo with his 8th of the season, 2nd of the game. This time into straightaway center, 431 feet. And the Mets will now lead it 6-2. Bottom 4, Damian Rolls starting to pitch quite well as he gets Benny Lang to go down on the curveball. Top of the 5th now, Keller is still in for the Pirates. J.D. Davis is up at the plate with nobody out. That one gets past the glove of the right fielder, Dylan Carlson, and it will drop for extra bases. Davis opens up the 5th with a no-out double, and the Pirates are not in an ideal position. Davis now on third here for Andres Gimenez, single into center and to right, and New York will now make it 7-2. Pittsburgh is going to be persistent here. They want to keep Keller in for the rest of the inning. We'll see if it pays off as Damian Rolls, the pitcher, now up with 2 outs and a runner on second. He's chopping gap. Reynolds makes a bad play on the ball, and that'll be an RBI double for the pitcher. Damian Rolls as the Mets now lead this game by a score of 8-2. Andrew Benintendi now up. He goes down on the high curveball, ending what has been a disaster of the game. For Mitch Keller, 5 innings, 12 hits, 8 earned runs. Definitely not his day as we move to the bottom of the 5. Pirates trying to put their rally caps on as Francisco Mejia strikes out. Pittsburgh still only has 1 base hit up to this point, even though they've drawn a number of walks. Here's base hit number 2, a single from the pinch hitter Tony Kemp. That'll put a runner on for the Pirates and 1 out. Brian Reynolds now up, weakly hit into left, and it will drop for a hit. And now the Pirates have the bases loaded. This is an opportunity to get a big hit and charge this score a little bit, make it a little bit closer. O'Neill cruises up, grounds it to first. Alonso overthrows the shortstop. 1 run scores, got some bad base running because MLB The Show's base running is broken. Kemp is tagged out at third. However, a run did come home to scores. It's now 8-3. Josh Bell strikes out, ending the inning. Despite having the bases loaded, the Pirates only scored 1 in what I would consider probably a failure of an opportunity, as Adonis Medina enters the game here for the Pirates, and the Mets have a pitching change of their own. Robert Selman in. Both starters only went 5 innings, as we are here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2-3 inning from Selman, and now the Mets are 3 innings away from winning this game. Let's see how Adonis Medina is doing. 1-2 pitch for Dom Tracy Williams, I believe that would be his name, as that one is grounded to short. Cruz makes a really nice play, getting the out. Cruz looks like he's about a foot taller in comparison to Adonis Medina. And now we move to the bottom of the 7th. Mejia up at the plate. That ball barely curves fair, and it will drop for a sliding double. So the Pirates now got themselves a runner in scoring position with 1 out. This is an opportunity to try to make a comeback. Brian Reynolds now up at the plate with Mejia on 3rd and 2 gone. Grounded to short. Reynolds hustling for first, and he is safe. That'll be an RBI single for Reynolds, and the Pirates will cut the lead down a little bit, making it 8-4. Cruz up at the plate now. He's gotten multiple base hits today. I believe that's his 3rd. Bad throw from the right fielder, as neither defensive unit has really been all that great today. So now 2 runners on, 2 outs for Josh Bell. That ball is hit into left center, and it will drop for a hit. The runner is headed home. He is safe, and now it is 8-5. The Mets are going to make a pitching change. Dylan Betances is in. Betances is, of course, a former Pirate. Remember, Pittsburgh acquired him last year for trade deadline from the Mets. Betances played like 3 games before getting hurt and then signed with the Mets this offseason. Safe to say that move was a disaster for Pittsburgh. As Benny Lane is up, he draws a walk, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Dylan Carlson has a chance to break this game open, and, well, I would consider it a successful at-bat. He rips a single into center. 1 run scores. As Josh Bell thought about going home, he will stay at 3rd, leaving the bases loaded. Wander Franco now up at the plate for rookie, as that ball is hit high. Not all that deep in the left. It would be caught. And once again, another squandered opportunity. The Pirates do score some runs, but they had an opportunity to score quite a bit more as we move to the top of the 9th. The Fresh Prince of Pittsburgh, Will Smith, is now in the game in 8 appearances so far. He's pitched fairly well for the Pirates. The pinch hitter, Jose Ramirez, going to lead, is the 2nd batter of the inning. He hits a single. The first batter also got on base, so already New York has a pair of runners on with no outs. The following batter, Andrew Benintendi, will go down on the low curveball. Nice pitch from Smith. A little lefty-on-lefty crime right there. Brandon Nimmo now up. Another lefty-on-lefty crime as that ball is hit deep and a right, and it will drop. They will call that fair, and that'll be a ground rule double for Nimmo, who's had one hell of a game. The following batter, Jeff McNeil, would be intentionally walked, and now the bases are loaded for the Mets. Obviously, they lead this game by 3, so not in as similar of a situation as the Pirates were in earlier, as Pete Alonso will strike out. J.D. Davis now up, 3-2 pitch, and he's going to ground it to second. Franco throws it to first, and the Mets leave the bases loaded. And this has been a really high-scoring game, currently 9-6, but if these teams capitalized when there were a lot of runners on base, then it'd be even more of a blowout. Carl Edwards Jr. is now in for the Mets, his 11th appearance of the season. The inning is currently going fairly well for Edwards, as with 2 outs, the pinch hitter Brian Hayes hits that one deep into center. Would be caught, ending the inning as the Mets try to finish this one off. Here as we go to the 9th inning, Emmanuel Clase now in for Pittsburgh. He's had a really good season. Obviously, last year he started off slow, played well down the stretch. This year he has started off hot, as Clase's inning would be a success. Jose Ramirez will strike out. And now the Pirates are going to be down 3 going into the bottom of the 9th as Edwin Diaz enters the game for the Mets. Hopefully he'll be Ed Lose Diaz after this one. I am sorry for the bad pun, but it's the New York Mets, so the Pirates have a very solid shot of winning this game. If there's one team you'd want to play against in this situation, it would be the New York Mets. O'Neill Cruz up with 1 out. He hits a single into right center field. Josh Bell now up. Full count pitch. That one will be lined into left for a base hit. And now the Pirates have 2 runners on. The tying run is up at the plate, and it's the Japanese sensation, Big Ding Benny Lane. 1-2 pitch, and he would ground this one right to second. The Mets going to try to turn 2, and they would be successful. Lane even sliding to first, but it does not matter as New York wins this one by a score of 6-9. Nice. Neither pitching staff really played well. This was a game about offense. The Mets with 15 hits, 9 runs, 2 dingers for Brandon Nimmo, who really played well. Rawls got the win. He was serviceable in 5 innings. For the Pirates, Mitch Keller did not play well. The bullpen, for the most part, was fine, only allowing 1 run in 4 innings. But Mitch Keller cannot pitch like this if he wants to continue to be an everyday part of this starting rotation. And if he continues to play poorly, then I don't really know what the Pirates are going to do. Because, I mean, you can't have his ERA continually be stuck in the 5s, especially for a guy who's been given such high expectations to deliver after having a sub-3 ERA last year and a very low whip. So Travis Swaggerty is back from his injury. That means there are now 27 players on the Major League roster. The Pirates are going to have to send somebody down. Hanser Alberto has not been a great piece off the bench this year, so he will be moving down to AAA for the time being as we get the second game of the day. Game 2 of a 4-game set at home once again, as the Pirates will be taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in a rematch of last year's NLCS that, of course, went 7 games. Pittsburgh is now 28-22, not playing their best baseball at the moment. The Diamondbacks, meanwhile, are 28-23 as we look at both lineups 1-9. Travis Swaggerty getting the start, Brian Reynolds getting the day off, and Wander Franco will be hitting leadoff in this one for the Pittsburgh Pirates. As on the mound for the Pirates would be the ace, Jameson Taillon, who's had a fine season so far. Nothing crazy, but he's been good. I mean, the whip being sub-1 is outstanding. 5-4, 3.18 ERA, 67 strikeouts in around 61 innings. As the first batter of the game, Timbo Castro, that'll double-check that swing. David Peralta, the freight train, now up at the plate, full count pitch. He goes down to the outside, 12-6 curve. This inning seems to be going really well for the Pirates at the moment, but it won't stay that way. Mookie Betts crushes it into left center field, 2-run shot for Betts, his 9th of the year, 420 feet, 420 plays it, as the Arizona Diamondbacks will take a 2-0 lead. But they're not quite done yet. The very following batter, Christian Vasquez. No, not Christian Vasquez. Christian Walker, goes deep into left. That one barely gets in the seats. Walker's 9th home run of the season. Christian Vasquez is on the Red Sox, not the Diamondbacks. My apologies. Luke Weaver gets the start for the D-backs. He's had a very good season this year. In 10 starts, he's had 8 no decisions. But the ERA is good, the whip is good, right where you want him to be. As Wander Franco, his first game as a leadoff hitter, will start with a single into right field. I think Wander Franco is more of a prototypical number 2 hitter in the lineup. For now, as a rookie, he'll be in that 6 and 7 range. I think in his prime, he just makes sense as a 2 guy. But hey, it's good to experiment, see what he can do at leadoff. As Oneil Cruz hits a single now. Later in the first inning, 2-on, 2 outs for Pablo Cairo. That should have been a base hit. But Josh Fuentes makes an incredible defensive play at third. Let's move to the second inning. Time for Taillon to get onto a groove as he starts the inning off, striking out Carson Kelly on the 12-6 curve, and we move to the bottom of the inning. Travis Swaggerty up at the plate. That ball is crushed into right. If it's fair, it's gone, and it will stay fair. Travis Swaggerty with his second Major League home run, and the Pirates will cut this lead down to 1. 2-run shot for Swaggerty puts the Pirates on the board. Still in the second inning, Oneil Cruz up at the plate. He is going fishing. Didn't catch anything with that bait, and that'll end the frame. Still a successful inning. The Pirates put 2 on the board as we move to the top of the third. Timbo Castro up at the plate. He will go down on the slider, Taillon's 5th strikeout of the game. He's had no problem striking out these opposing Diamondback batters. Christian Walker now strikes out, and after that pretty rough first inning, Jameson Taillon's been incredible since then. Josh Fuentes now on the slider. He goes down, and we move to the bottom of the 4th. Runners on the corners and 2 outs for Wander Franco, who is 2 for 2 so far. Unfortunately, that will turn into 2 for 3 as he flies out into right center. Mookie Betts makes the play, and the score will remain 3-2 as we move on to the 5th inning. Let's go bottom 5. Luke Weaver's pitch count really starting to creep up there. Oneil Cruz up at the plate with nobody out. going oppo-poppo into left for a double. And Pittsburgh quickly has a runner on with nobody else. This is their opportunity to try to tie it or take the lead. And they're going to do just that. The following batter, Josh Bell, absolutely crushes it over the seats and right onto the concourse and would eventually bounce in the Allegheny River. Bell with his 13th home run of the season, 449-foot mammoth shot. And Pittsburgh now leads it 4-3. Alex Young, the Dylan Carlson lookalike, would now enter the game for the Diamondbacks as Pablo Cairo up grounds it to short. That one goes over the head of the shortstop as he makes a bad play. That'll be a base hit for the Venezuelan 19-year-old rookie. Dylan Carlson now up facing his doppelganger as that'll be a 5-4-3 double play. So the bad play at short in the previous play with the Cairo hit does not really matter. Christian Walker strikes out there. That would end Jameson Taillon's day. 6 rather solid innings as we go to the 7th inning now. Raisel Iglesias in for the Pirates. He really started the season off slow, but here in the month of May, he has really pitched well as he gets Josh Rojas to strike out, ending the frame very quickly. Bottom 7 now, Josh Bell hitting from the right side of the plate, and he will strike out more blind than Helen Keller. I don't know what he was swinging at. Top of the 8th now, the longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, Starling Marte, going to lead the inning off, and that'll be a base hit as Franco is unable to get to it quick enough. Nice hustle by Starling Marte. Arizona has a runner on with nobody out. Bill Castro now up at the plate, and he will go down swinging. David Peralta now up. We know he can hit the ball, and he does it right there. That one goes off the fence and right. That'll be a double for Peralta. And this game just got real interesting. Pirates lead it by 1. The Diamondbacks have a pair of runners in scoring position with 1 out. Ketel Marte now up. He goes down on the sinker. Huge strikeout for Iglesias. Following batter, Mookie Betts. Weak fly out to center. Travis Swaggerty will make the play. And the Pirates get out of a pretty scary jam as we move on to the bottom of the 8th. Devin Williams is in for the D-backs, having a solid year, 3.96 ERA in 25 innings of action. Leading off the inning is Pablo Cairo. He's going to go down on the slider. Quiet game for Cairo for the most part today. Following batter, Dylan Carlson is up at the plate. 1-1 pitch as that one is skied deep into left center, and it will drop for extra bases. It will bounce over the fence for a ground rule double. And Pittsburgh now is a runner in scoring position as they try to get some insurance runs. Francisco Mejia now up at the plate. He's drawn 2 walks today as he flies out weakly to second as he launches his bat to the ground in frustration. And Devin Williams and the Diamondbacks get out of the inning unscathed, and we move to the top of the 9th. Ken Giles on for the save. He's had 18 save appearances, successfully completing 16 as Carson Kelly is up. Full count pitch, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Flies out to left. Cairo makes the play. And the Pirates squeak past the Arizona Diamondbacks by a final score of 4-3. All of the Diamondbacks runs were scored in the top of the first. All of home runs by Mookie Betts and... who was the other home run? Christian Walker did, yes. Other than that, Jameson Taillon really pitched well after that. The bullpen pitched well. Pirates won this game off of the pair of 2-run shots, one of which was by Josh Bell in the 5th inning, the other by Travis Swaggerty in the 2nd inning. 10 hits for the Pirates, 6 for the D-backs, so a good win for Pittsburgh. They only won by 1, but I would still count this as a quality win. The team played well, as that's going to end the episode here, nearing the end of the month of May. Big stretch coming up next episode. We have 4 straight series against the Cubs and the Brewers. So at home against Chicago, at Milwaukee for a 4-game set, in Chicago, and then home against Milwaukee. We also got the MLB draft as well, so lots to look forward to for the next episode. Hope you guys are excited. I'm out. Peace.